Hey everyone, how are you? So this is the daily analysis of the Hindu for today, that is the 3rd of February 2017, and it will be presented to you by me, Dipanshu Singh. So you can read more about me on this slide, and you can also follow me on Academy on this link to get updates on my courses and on my videos. So you'll also get the notification in your browser or in your mobile once you subscribe to my courses. So please rate and review the course and recommend each and every video. And the practice question for today is, which state is the theme state? So remember, take a look at this question very carefully, because it's not asking as the location, but as the theme state of the 2017 Surajkund International Crafts Mela. So these are your options. And the answer for yesterday's question is that the theme for this year's Wetlands Day is Wetlands for Disaster Risk Reduction. So first page news, the national page's news is that the National Security Council Secretariat, which reports to the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, has seen an increase of almost tenfold budgetary allocation. It got around rupees 333 crore in this year's budgetary allocations. So it is done basically to give mandate to more area of operation and to increase areas of their operation, and increasing and expanding their areas in anti-counter terror operations and intelligence operations. So this is also seen as a positive step in considering that the security failure in anticipating terrorist attacks in Pathankot Air Force Base and other areas in India, they need to be stepped up. And moreover, Northeast India is always at a peril of insurgencies related to attacks by a lot of groups like Naga groups, and then Liberation Front, and a lot of these groups work from the borders of Myanmar. So NCSCS, if you look at, is an advisory group of which comprises of eminent intellectual security experts, professionals, which advises Prime Minister on security related issues. And it was the brainchild of late former National Security Advisor Brijesh Mishra, and he had set it up in 1998 under then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Now, Good Samaritan bill from the state of Karnataka is awaiting governor's approval. So the government of Karnataka passed this Good Samaritan and Medical Professional Protection and Regulation During Emergency Situations Bill 2016. So the bill has aimed to provide protection to Good Samaritans, and this will obviously help them to ensure and seek quick medical aid for road accident victims, and encourage people to offer first aid, because a lot of people generally in emergency situations, in bystanders, they generally keep on looking, and they do not even come forward to help people, fearing that there will be some police investigation or police scrutiny, or they'll get unnecessary hassled by the police. So this bill basically tries to ameliorate that issue. And if you look at the cabinet also approved the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill 2016, which provides for hefty penalties in case of traffic violations. The next one is that H1B visa reforms is in the news. So the reform bill has some takeaways and positives for Indians. So all fears relating to issue of the H1B visa have been set aside by the new bill, which tends to be more positive for Indians, at least in some parts. So they are trying to do away with the 7% quota will be abolished, because 7% of the total number of green cards allotted in a particular year are given to any nationality. So this leads to years of delay to get green cards in US. And this bill has also argues for transparency to protect H1B visa holders from the blackmailing by the employers, and also from the liquidation damages caused to these employees. And the suggestions of the H1B visa allocations also on the market needs rather than the lottery system, which is likely to enhance these chances of employment of students passing out from good schools with good academic track records. Because right now it works on the lottery system, so there's some suggestion to do it on market-based needs, and rather than just relying on the lottery system. Now, the Central Plantation Crop Research Institute is mulling on an idea to introduce parasites and give them for free for controlling pest attacks in coconut palms. So the coconut growers whose plantations have been actually hit by a black-headed leaf caterpillars, which is also known as Opicinia aransola, has actually hit the coconut palms in Thokotu, Kalapu and Mudipu areas. So this caterpillar infested palms actually look very dry. So to control them, a new a parasite called the Gonizus Nephantidis will be given for free by this organization to these farmers to control this caterpillar. So if you look at this organization, the Central Plantation Crop Research Institute is a premier research institute established for coconut, areca nut and cocoa crops. So this is important, that it's specifically for these three crops, and it is one of the agricultural research institutes in the National Agricultural Research System under the ICAR, that is the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, since 1970, and this institute is located in Kerala in Kasaragod. The next news is that over 60% of the candidates for Goa polls are croropatis. This is as per a report by Association for Democratic Reforms. This is the same organization which had brought about that report about a lot of political parties. Their funding is non-transparent and it's by the in the name of anonymous fundings. So criminal cases mentions that 38 candidates or 15% of all the appearing in the coming elections in Goa have criminal cases registered against them, and 19 of them actually face serious criminal charges, including those of assault, and about 62% of the candidates are croropatis, and the biggest chunk is made up of having assets worth between 1 crore and rupees 5 crore. So why this news is important? This can be used in your answers regarding reforming the political situation in India and electoral reforms. The next news is regarding the DNA tagging of conflicts by Andhra Pradesh. So the Andhra Pradesh government is planning to bring in legislation that will actually allow the street police and investigating agencies to collect and store DNA samples in a centralized database. And why this news is creating a lot of problem is this move is actually creating a lot of problems because obviously there are ethical issues concerned. So you can use this in your GS2 answers, and you can also use this specific news in your ethics related questions in the paper of GS4. So this move has actually come in for the close scrutiny as the centre first prepared a draft bill on the issue in 2012, but that bill actually came into a lot of severe opposition from activists on the ground that it violated privacy. It has seen, and that is why it was put on hold. So the violation of privacy can also be linked to Aadhaar based issue. So apart from that, in August last year, the Andhra Pradesh government launched a DNA collection kit developed by the Intengene X company. So it allowed the extraction from saliva and blood samples, the extraction of the liver from the DNA from these samples within a matter of 2 hours. So, and the state government gave the justification that this actually will help in creating a database of DNA database of conflicts that will help in tracking and repeat offenders in sexual assault and rape cases. And if you look at the background on this information, the central government also introduced the Human DNA Profiling Bill 2015, but then it is still awaiting approval from the Union Cabinet. Now, international news related to Indus Water Treaty. So, United Nations Development Programme has tabled a report that says that Pakistan is negligent on the water dispute with India. And the report, titled "Development Advocate Pakistan," says that that a delay on the part of Islamabad in presenting the case to Indus Water Treaty Commission or the World Bank caused issues to continue or linger on. So if you look at the background of the Indus Water Treaty, it is a water distribution treaty between India and Pakistan, which was brokered by the World Bank. Then it was called the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and the treaty was signed in Karachi in September 1960 by the Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, and then President of Pakistan, Ayub Khan. And according to this agreement, I know this is kind of a revision for you guys, but then still it's anyway might be new, might be a new piece of information for a lot of people who just started preparations. So according to this agreement, control over the three eastern rivers, that is the Beas, Ravi and Satluj, was given to India, and the rightmost rivers, the western rivers, was actually given to Pakistan, that is the Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. And there is an increased stress on the Indus basin, which can actually lead to treaty under strain. But and also the treaty, there is an issue that the treaty fails to address two important issues. Obviously, there is a shortage of water in the dry seasons between India and Pakistan when flows are almost half as compared to during good monsoon season. And also the cumulative impact of storage on the flows of the river Chenab into Pakistan has a lot of issues due to the seasonal variations. And the other issues the other things, the ecological impact can be really high for this region, because the survival treaty is facing some issues and threatening the survival of the treaty due to the melting of glaciers, erratic rainfall, and above all climate change. So these all factors basically pose a severe threat to the Indus Water Treaty, because it can be renegotiated, but there are some issues from both the sides, India and Pakistan, and especially by the World Bank, because India, if you remember, strongly advocated against the interference of World Bank in this treaty. And with the control of the river Chenab through the Salal Dam, India has also several plans underway for development of a lot of hydropower projects. So there are a lot of power projects from the Indian side and from the Pakistan side as well. So if you look at the Satluj, Beas and Ravi is with India, and Indus, Jhelum, Chenab are with Pakistan. So these dams are being built in Pakistan, and these are the dams which are being built or are under construction or are presently under place on the rivers on the side of Indian side. So Salal Dam and Pong Dam and Bhakra Dam, if you look at this map, you can easily identify. And there is an issue that Pakistan also continues to face reduced flows from the Chenab owing to the recent storage of water in the Baghliyar Dam from the Indian side. So this is about the Indus Water Treaty and the related issues. Now, business page news is that the tax dodgers who try and avoid taxes and actually evade taxes, avoidance is still acceptable, but evasion of taxes is punishable. So they will face severe consequences as per the Government of India and Ministry of Finance. So government is actually coming heavily on tax dodgers, napping them from various fronts. So the government has recently taken some bold steps like demonetizations, income disclosure schemes, Foreign Black Money Act, general anti-avoidance rules, place of effective management proposal to put a cap of rupees 3 lakh beyond the no cash transactions, putting a cap of rupees 10,000 for business expenditure shows the intent of government. And these steps have actually led to increase of tax to GDP ratio to 11% for the first time, and is expected to increase in future. Apart from that, the corporate tax was untouched to 30%, but actually they had to pay 25% effectively, because 5% is given generally as an exemptions in the different forms. And apart from that, indirect taxes were untouched, as GST would resolve this issue, because obviously GST will subsume most of these indirect taxes. Now, TRAI has given clean check for Jio's tariff offers. If you remember that a lot of these telecom provider companies had approached the telecom regulator TRAI against the tariff offers of Reliance Jio. So they had moved actually to the telecom tribunal, that is a TD-SAT, against the regulator for allowing the venture to continue for promotional offer beyond the stipulated 19 days. This is the free and the welcome offer that is going on till March 2017. So the regulator decided that the Reliance Jio tariff plans do not violate any existing regulation or order issued by the regulator, and TRAI therefore should not intervene in the matter. So obviously the introduction of Jio has opened up this whole market for telecom providers, and it has obviously increased the competition. So anyway, in free market economics, competition is very beneficial for all the consumers. Now the RBI has cautioned against virtual currencies. So RBI has cautioned the users, holders and traders of virtual currencies like bitcoins about the potential financial, legal and security related risks, because obviously RBI does not regulate these and has not given any license or authorization to any entity, company to operate such schemes or deal with bitcoin, because if any person does that, it's at their own risk, and any such user, holder, investor, trader cannot be protected by the side of RBI. Now, another business page news is that the NPS subscriber, the National Pension System subscriber, can prematurely withdraw 25% of the corpus tax-free. So it has become much more attractive option now for retirement savings, with Budget 2017 advocating allowing its member to withdraw up to 25% of the accumulated corpus before retirement without tax. And also some SOPs or self-employed individuals is that they have also been allowed to invest up to 20% of their income into the NPS as opposed to 10% earlier. And to avoid the further relief, it has been proposed to insert a new clause 12B in the Section 10 of the Income Tax Act. Further, contribution up to 20% of the gross income of the self-employed individual, other than the salaried class, will be deductible from the taxable income under Section 80CCD of the Income Tax Act. Now, this is an interesting news on the protecting the environment and recycling and reuse. So, organizers of the 2020 Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games have actually planned to make medals from recycled mobile phones to promote sustainability and reduce costs. So, the Japanese public will be asked to donate old phones and small appliances to gather 2 tons of gold, silver, and bronze required to make these 5,000 medals. So now you can, if there's a question on what all components are there, which all metals are used in making mobile phones, so you can now identify that gold, silver, and bronze are also used in making the mobile phones. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people did not know till now that gold and silver are used in making mobile phones. Specifically gold. I know a lot of you might not relate to this news, but then anyway, previously also there has been a precedent of using these materials and recycling the waste materials in making the medals. It was used in Rio 26 Olympics to make medals with 30% silver and bronze medals, which were used from recycled materials. And Japan, the issue with this particular news is that the Japan, basically lacks its own material resources. Therefore, it is very keen to take the theme of sustainable future a step further. And generally, other Olympic host cities, they procured and obtained the metal from mining firms in nearby countries or from their own cities. So Japan, since it lacks the mineral resources, will be using the recycle method to make these metals. So this is it for today's video, guys. Do let me know what you think of the video. So till next video, I hope you have a good day. Thank you so much.